North Carolina, once dubbed the Rip Van Winkle State, snubbed by our more progressive neighbors who predicted North Carolina would never amount to anything. Boy, were they wrong. But what changed our destiny? How did we get from where we were, a mere century and a half ago, to where we are today? Just listen.
Let the North Carolina Railroad, like a huge tree, strike its roots deeply into the shore of the Atlantic and stretch its noble trunk through the center of the state and extend its overshadowing and protecting branches through the valleys and along the mountain tops of the West until it becomes indeed the tree of life to North Carolina.
Work on the tracks began in January 1853. From a single crosstie to a 317-mile corridor, the North Carolina Railroad grew from the coast, across the sandhills, and over the Piedmont. With the state investing 2/3 of the initial funding and later purchasing the remaining shares, the North Carolina Railroad belonged fully to the citizens it was built to serve.
Hurrah for the North Carolina Railroad! The Iron Horse is now at their service, and time and space are almost annihilated.
All along the rail corridor, North Carolina's heritage industries, textiles, furniture, and tobacco flourished, bringing wealth into the state to build towns, schools, and hospitals.
This was indeed a proud and glorious day to celebrate the completion of the North Carolina Railroad, which has done more than any other one thing to aid material development and promote manufacturing interests.
150 years later, the railroad continues to serve as a powerful economic engine. Today, the North Carolina Railroad transports nearly 10 million tons of commodities and approximately 300,000 passengers each year. Customers of the North Carolina Railroad save a combined $198 million annually, and industries shipping by rail in the counties along the corridor account for $90 billion in output, more than 24% of the state's economy.
Business owners are always looking for the most efficient way to move their goods and services.
A freight train moves a ton of freight an average of 484 miles on a single gallon of fuel. That's like going from Charlotte to Cincinnati on 1 gallon.
One of the important things to remember is that the North Carolina Railroad, along with its tenant, Norfolk and Southern, provides jobs for a tremendous number of people throughout North Carolina. The ability of the North Carolina Railroad Company to have the flexibility to respond to a specific industry is going to put North Carolina in a competitive advantage against other states.
As the railroad company invests in maintaining and improving the capacity and safety of the railways, businesses and citizens reap the benefits of improved infrastructure, increased economic development, and a future full of opportunities.
Since 2000, the North Carolina Railroad Company has invested $68 million in capital investment. In addition, the North Carolina Railroad has committed for the future another $67 million in capital improvements in the corridor. This asset sustains itself. We're a North Carolina corporation managed by a very good board of directors that works closely with all of our partners, including North Carolina DOT, Amtrak, Norfolk Southern, Federal Rail Administration, and many others. These projects build bridges, build underpasses, improve the tracks, improve the stations, and most importantly, create jobs for North Carolinians.
Because our state already owns the land corridor through which the railroad runs, we have an advantage over other states for increased freight and passenger capacity, which means possibilities like commuter and light rail.
There's a major thrust in the state to look at ways to improve the mobility and access for everyone. Passenger rail provides benefits to not only commuters, but those people who are in need of access to their medical appointments, access to education, and as well as access to entertainment. CATS and North Carolina Railroad have been working together in the development of our Blue Line extension. We have shown with the light rail corridor here in the south of Charlotte that it has become a major economic driver. It has led to transit-oriented development and major economic opportunities for the city of Charlotte.
In true North Carolina fashion, we've silenced the naysayers of the past with the undeniable sounds of progress.
The North Carolina Railroad is the thing that connects us. It's the spine that joins the coast to the Piedmont. We need to appreciate that and understand the great asset we have in this railroad, in the corridor that we the people own. It's the North Carolina Railroad that has enabled us to grow all across North Carolina. It's going to enable us to have better transportation, cleaner air in the future. We're so lucky to have it. We've got to protect it, take care of it, and develop it till its fullest in the years to come.